Extreme Collectibles, and today before we get started on this review, we have two things to discuss. Number one is, you're thinking, Mr. X, you look like shit. Well, that's because I come back from vacation and I'm the type of guy that I don't go to the doctor unless I'm dying. So I decided yesterday I may be close to dying, so I went into the doctor, and I'm not going to tell you what for. It wasn't a male related issue or anything. And you get scared when the nurse freaks out. Then they bring in 2 or 3 doctors, and then they send you to the hospital to cut you open. So that was my day yesterday, and I'm ordered to stay at home in bed rest for a week. So I was at work the last 8 hours, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I came home. So that's why I look like shit. And the second thing is, against all of my gut instinct, I'm going to do an unboxing today. Traditionally, with my videos, I only do the review. However, this is going to be my second unboxing. However, it'll be the first unboxing I air. I have another unboxing that I've done, and it just hasn't aired yet, but I've filmed it. The reason I don't like doing unboxings is because A, I don't watch them, and B, you guys know I don't wear pants. So let's get started. Extreme Collectibles here with an unboxing and review of the brand new Spider-Man Marvel vs. Capcom quarter scale custom retro version. Lots of words there. So basically it's a Spider-Man from the Marvel vs. Capcom game, and this is the retro version, which means he is red and black as opposed to red and blue. So let's go ahead and do this unboxing. And again, it's only my second unboxing, so we're gonna see how this goes. Came in a standard, cardboard box, and then of course the standard custom black foam. So let's take a look at what we have on each layer. I think the first thing we're going to have here is kind of an art print. So let's take a look at this right now. Standard Spider-Man art print. I'm not a big art print fan by any means, but it's kind of neat to have. And realistically, I don't even know if this is an art print. It's more of a covering. So here we have the very first layer. And let me show you a shot of what's inside here. Pretty cool. 4 portraits. I thought there was only 3, but that's always a pleasant surprise. And then the bottom layer here, I'm sure, is the base. Big base. These are traditionally big bases with this company. So very, very cool. I like that a lot. Obviously it's upside down. So this one is actually one of 7, I believe. They only made 7 of these. And let's put these together here. Keys fitting good. Pretty easy to assemble. Definitely base is a lot bigger than I thought. That's what she said. Alright. And then here we have kind of the Spidey sense. Let's input those actually. And we're done. Let's get rid of all this, and then we will do the review. You know it's bad when you got heated and sweating just doing that. But anyway, here he is all put together. So let's start on the review. A little bit of background info. So first of all, it is a custom quarter scale Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man. Marvel vs. Capcom is a very popular video game. There's multiple versions of it where essentially Marvel characters such as Spider-Man or Wolverine or whoever fight Capcom players such as from Street Fighter. So Very, very popular arcade style game. My kids play it a lot on my main machine that we have. We have, I think, 4 or 5 different ones on there. And I purchased him because I have 2 other pieces that kind of fall in line with this. Let me actually show them right here. Here is one he'll pair great with is Venom, and this is the Player 2 variant. So this Venom, only 5 of these here were made. And then I have a Gray Hulk, again, Player 2 variant, and I think like 9 or 10 of these were made. And of course, this guy right here, they made 7 versions of the retro with the black parts, and then I think 43 of the blue, and then 10 negative zone. So it's a pretty rare piece. It's a custom. We don't talk about where customs come from. This particular custom group, obviously it's my 3rd piece that I've bought from them. I've never had any issues. They're always good communication. Yeah, products always delivered as described. So very happy with them so far. Reason I bought him, I'm going to put him in my office because those pictures you saw of the Venom and the Hulk, they are at my office. I have a big Venom collection other than XM Venom behind me, and a big Hulk collection other than the Hulk that I have with my Avengers collection. And plus they're Marvel vs. Capcom, so I might as well put them there. And then I also have some Spider-Man busts at my office. Let me show a picture of that. So these are Spider-Man, Iron Spider, Venom, and Carnage, and it's probably not in that order. So I thought he'd go well with the office ones, so he'll be my only Spider-Man at the office. You do see I have a couple Spider-Man behind me, a couple more on order. Plus Sideshow's premium format goes up today. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that or not, so I want to. Cost on this, I don't remember. I think it was around $700, $800, right in that range, so pretty typical for a custom. Shipping wasn't that bad because, as you saw, the box was pretty small. It's sad when we say like $200 isn't that bad, but I don't really need to talk about the assembly, but everything fit really well. There's a few semi-seam lines, but they kind of put it in the costume where his black lines are, so not too bad. And if you're going to have switch outs and just the engineering of this, how he's kind of at that pose. So, which, speaking of that, let's kind of talk about that, the whole concept and design of this. Let me get the measurements first. So height-wise, as you can see, he's pretty short. You're talking 11.5. And then the diameter of the base is close to 16.5 inches, so quite big. That Hulk I showed you, the diameter of that is monstrous. It's probably like 28 inches or so. So I wish, concept and design-wise, I wish they would have went a little bit smaller on the base, but you kind of have to because, I mean, that's how wide he is. And this pose is classic from the game, Marvel vs. Capcom. It's the classic Spidey pose, right when he's about to attack. I love that they stayed true to that. And the engineering is pretty cool on this, how they were able to do it. I like it a lot. It looks like he's really pushing off his fingers. It looks like he's, you know, in that... I could do this pose too. Epic Statues, if you've ever seen his reviews or pictures, awesome guy, awesome collector. He always does a pose of the people. I'd love to see him do a pose of this one. I can't do it. But anyway, really cool concept. The design, like I said, other than a few seam lines, which are kind of necessity and they're not really that bad, is really good. And realistically, when we talk about the paint and sculpt, it's not going to be a lot here because there's not a lot going on. It's a pretty simplistic statue, and I don't mean that in a negative tone. It's a good thing. Simple is good sometimes. So first, talking about the base, it obviously has that black lining on the outside, but I absolutely love the bottom part of this base here. It's very cool, obviously. It's the Spidey mask, Spidey symbol, and there's some texture and variations in it, kind of those squares, smaller around the outside than big where the eyes are. Really cool idea. It's more conceptual, and I love the different colors they used on it. It's some darker reds on the outside, and as you get closer, it's a different shade of red, but it's still a dark red, and then the really true orangish red right where the eyes are. Very, very cool. And then the webbing ingrained all around it. Spidey himself, fantastic anatomy as long as you continue to look at this as a video game statue. You can't really look at this as a human or a character movie statue or even a comic statue for that matter. It's very true to the Marvel vs. Capcom game. His thighs are over-exaggerated as well as his pectorals. And then his calf muscles even, very over exaggerated. But good anatomy, good musculature. You even see here on the backside of his arms, there's you can see some veins underneath the costume. Really, really cool. And I like the texture they used on his legs and pants, and there's still a few folds in there, but it's a very tight costume. And, you know, he has the other ass of America, not just Captain America. Captain America isn't America's ass anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm really off because I'm not feeling good. I love his boots. You know, very typical Spider-Man type costume, but I like the pose of them. It's kind of interesting. You can really tell that his foot is in there. And there's no texture on the outside, but the bottom of his boots here, there's a little bit of texture, which is kind of neat. And it's good red shading, both black and red shading throughout his boots. And that follows on the top of his costume here, both his forearms and his hands. And again, good sculpt of the anatomy, especially in relation to a video game statue. And then look at the sculpt here on his shoulders and his back. Really, really cool. And again, they did a great job mixing the different colors of the red and black together and maintaining the webbing outline. I'm a big fan. Then his classic Spidey symbol on the back looks good. And of course he has the smaller, more defined one on the front, like classic Spidey does. And here's another shot of his hand. So it's almost his web shooter hand, but a different finger is up and it's upside down. Kind of interesting. And then looking at his different portraits here, first of all, here's the half-masked one showing his Spidey sense. Not a fan of this one personally. I like the idea, I like the concept, I just don't like the way it looks. And it's very cool that, you know, well, there's 4 options, so, but yeah, I mean, the sculpt is good, the paint is good, it's not for me. It's not what I'm going to display. And then next you have his, I'd say, smallest eyes, where his eyes are almost slanted, almost like he's focused. And there's tiny bits of texture that you probably can't see on camera within each portrait and each mask. But the defining nose and then defining chin and lip if you look really, really close. And then the next one he has, his eyes are kind of, what I would say, they're wider and bigger. But it's more of an expression where he's still focused. And in his white eyes, they do have that blue hint in there. I like that they added that. And then the last one, really the difference on this between this and the last one is it's a little bit wider from top to bottom, and there's a little point on the bottom where the other portrait it was rounded. So all very similar. Yeah, I almost think it's too many heads, but I don't think a collector should complain about getting too many switch outs. It's better to have too many than not enough. So those are my thoughts on this piece. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's a cool addition. There's a bunch of MVC Spideys out there that go for quite a bit, and I'm betting this one will be the same. But I absolutely love this base. I love the concept. It's a cool take on Spider-Man. And that's about it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite Spider-Man statue. There's so many to choose from, so many good ones. So with that, appreciate you guys watching. As always, please like, please comment, please subscribe. If you want, if you don't, don't. Thanks so much. Take care.